So I've always had an affinity to the monster movies that get released here in the States, like, the Godzilla films, the Kong films. But it all kind of really started with like Godzilla versus Kong, and I've seen basically all of like the team up movies between them, like Godzilla versus Kong, and then Godzilla X Kong New Empire, and I'm excited for Godzilla and Kong. I believe if it's that subtitle is Supernova, I believe, which will be coming out relatively soonish. But one of the earliest videos that is on my channel is me reviewing Godzilla -1 minus color. I had the opportunity to go see that amazing film, and it just showed me that, the guys behind the creation of Godzilla, Toho, really know how to create a really good Godzilla movie without having to, do what we do here in the States, and that's, the big action set pieces between the kaijus. Well, at the theater that I went to today to go see Americana, they were also playing another highly regarded Toho Godzilla film. So let's talk about it, shall we? Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strung from QuickTime Reactions, and yes, the theater that I went to played Shin Godzilla, and not just Shin Godzilla. They re-released it for its 4K re-release. So if you guys happen to see it playing in the theater, just know that it is being re-released in 4K. This is, of course, another one of, like I said in the intro, it is a Toho Godzilla film, and this really revolves around basically a lot of, the governmental decisions and to trying to stop, Godzilla from basically rampaging throughout Tokyo. You get to see all of the decisions, all of the lead up, all of the, going back and forth, all the researching and all that stuff into trying to find a way to stop this big walking kaiju from destroying the city. This movie was directed by, and I'm going to try my best to pronounce the directors of this, Hideaki Anno and Shinji Higuchi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But those two gentlemen were the ones that directed this movie. And I should also mention that it originally came out in 2016. So the film is almost 10 years old, which is absolutely insane. I had heard a bit about this movie, mainly because, through like all the reaction channels that I watch. This Godzilla film was the one that was like really cited as like Godzilla being like scary. And when he first shows up in the movie, I didn't necessarily see that because he's got like, the weird looking face, and he's on like all fours, like, a lizard, just like going through the city, just like rampaging crazy. But then he evolves. He's basically, I consider this version of the Pokemon Godzilla, because he evolves into these different stages. And so then he gets up on his hind legs and he starts to resemble more and more what Godzilla looks like, or what we are accustomed to him looking like. I pointed this out, I think, in my Godzilla -1 review, how Godzilla in that movie really looked like a dude in a suit walking around. This one, I think they took that a step above. Not only do I think that, they had a dude in a suit for maybe some things, I think it's mostly CG, but I think for some shots they had a dude in a suit. I think they also used practical miniatures of the city, because the way that the buildings crumbled, and that you also had tight shots of like the pillars breaking, like they had to have used miniature sets and a dude in a suit just like rampaging and stomping around on him, because to me the way that it crumbled look like, okay, so they had to have intentionally made a miniature to get that shot to make it look really, really good. And so that's at least my hope, anyway, is that they used miniatures. Um, Everyone in the cast did an absolutely amazing job at conveying not only an urgency, but also a worriedness, while also maintaining the facade of calmness on the outside. Because I know on the inside, everything's going a mile a minute, and you just have to basically keep up. And everyone in the cast did an absolutely amazing job of portraying stoicism on the outside, panicked feelings in the inside, and in those brief moments where they're, off by themselves, while also having the urgency about them in their decision making. I think the biggest surprise for me was, again, just how much politically this movie really focuses in on. Because, in your typical like monster movies, you get to see like, the ordinary people, the people out on the street that are actually getting affected by this monster. But this decision of focusing on the decision makers in like trying to figure out a plan of action, whether or not to evacuate, et cetera, et cetera, it really makes it stand out above all the rest of the, monster movies, where it's just like, okay, we're going to focus on like, just all these people, or focus in on a specific set of people. It's like, no, we're actually going to look at what, the politicians are thinking about, like what is racing through their mind. The thing that I really liked about Godzilla, and not just the fact that he evolves, but the way that his heat ray looks in this movie is really, really good. And the way that they showed it off the first time was absolutely beautiful. He's in Tokyo, and all the lights to the buildings are down, so that you only see like the red that's coming through like his scaling. And once he gets hit by all those bombs, he starts to like glow. He unhinges his bottom jaw, and then he spews flames out, spreads flames throughout all of the city, and then he concentrates that into a little like laser pointer, and then just starts going ham. Not only that, he can also emit that through his back fins and his tail, which I thought was just, that looked really, really cool, seeing that from the back fins. And he's basically just, pointing his back into all these different places, destroying all these bombs and these ships. Like that's pretty cool. That's really, really cool. But yeah, this is Another solid entry in the Toho Godzilla films that they have made. Really good performances by the cast. Really, really cool direction. A lot of really good action set pieces. And Godzilla also looked really, really good and really, really menacing. And I really enjoyed his heat ray mouth as well. So yeah, if you have not had the chance to check out Shin Godzilla, I highly recommend that you do. And I would also recommend seeing it in 4K if it is showing anywhere close to you. But that is going to be it for me, guys. Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on Shin Godzilla. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Be safe out there, and remember, if you know that there is a kaiju coming in your vicinity, maybe not live there. In fact, if you know that kaiju exists, maybe just live up in space for a little while. I mean, nothing in space will ever get you. Well, maybe besides a xenomorph. You know what? I take that back. Maybe just like go into the dirt. Like nothing bad is in the dirt. At least from what I've seen, anyway. And I will see you guys next time.